Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Here is another special Aliyah interview with Maia Dori uh, from from Atlanta, right?
Yes.
From Atlanta. And she made Aliyah with her family during Corona. She started a very successful business, which she will be discussing in the interview. All right, we're ready. Maya, you want to share your story?
Yeah. So my name is Maia Dori. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I just moved to Israel in September. I made Aliyah with my family. Before that, I just graduated in May from Yeshiva University.
Mazel.
Um, yeah, so I made Aliyah and I started my own company. It's called Rebook, which I'm sure we'll get into later. Yeah.
Great. And when did you make Aliyah? Which what month during Corona?
I think it was in September, beginning of September 2020.
September in 2020. And what made your family go back to Israel? Like what was that decision?
My parents are from Israel, so their parents live there. Their like brothers and sisters live there. I have a lot of extended family there, and it was something that they'd been talking about for like a few years, moving back.
Mhm.
But they were waiting for my youngest sister to finish high school. I have two younger sisters. So after my youngest sister graduated high school, which was the end of May 2020, um, they moved shortly after to Israel.
Oh, very nice. So basically your parents were just waiting for them to finish high school and once, they're finished, they decided, all right, we're going to Israel.
Yeah, they've been wanting like to move back for a while. It wasn't like a sudden thing that they decided to just like pick up and move.
Nice.
But it just happened to be in the middle of Corona.
Right, right. And what was the transition like for you and for your sisters? Because they were young, they didn't really live there, and was it like a new?
Yeah, so I was born in Israel, but I left when I was very young. I was like 6 months or something.
Mhm,
And my sisters were born in America. They were not born in Israel.
mhm,
Um, so, I mean, we would go back to visit, like, but we never lived there before,
mhm.
obviously. And like, I don't remember living there because I was so young.
Okay.
But we speak Hebrew, so that helps. That's one thing that we definitely, our parents instilled that in us. So that was easier in transitioning. Also, we all spent a gap year in Israel on various like different programs. So
Okay.
that also it's kind of like living there. It's not really, but it gave like a little bit of a feel for living there before we actually moved back. Um, but yeah, it's been a fine transition. I mean, Israel is in repeated lockdowns.
Yeah.
So we've been dealing with that, but it's okay. We found like a good apartment and stuff. So that's made it easier.
Cool. And because you and your sisters obviously speak Hebrew, it was just a lot easier than like your normal average class that would get
Hmm.
to Israel. So that was like great for you guys. And where do you guys live in Israel?
We live in Petah Tikva, but like right like between Givat Shmuel and Petah Tikva. So we're really close to like Bar Ilan University.
Oh, very nice. Is there like an American community there, or it's just hardcore Israelis? Like, what's the community
Um,
like?
in Givat Shmuel, there is an American community, but where we live is mostly Israeli. Yeah, my
Oh,
parents
very
are
nice.
Israeli, so like they wanted to move back to like an Israeli community.
Very nice. And how is that community? Like, are they like, can any American go there and like, feel comfortable there, or it's just like just Israelis, and like, it could be, can you see it being difficult for an American going there?
Um, well, our like specific location is we live in like a newer area, so it's really close to Givat Shmuel, which is where a lot of um, Americans live, like young Americans, because of Bar Ilan, the university. A lot of Americans go there. So in my specific area, I feel like it would be easy for like Americans to live there just because it's so close. Like
Mhm.
you could literally walk, like it's really close.
Nice.
um, but I feel like in general, it's probably more comforting for Americans that make Aliyah to be in like more American areas,
Hmm.
just because of the language and like obviously American and Israeli culture is different.
Right.
Israel is still Israel. Like there's still going to be like that Israeli cultural aspect, like in your day to day like interactions. But overall, I would imagine that like if your Hebrew is not so good and stuff, it's probably easier to be surrounded by Americans.
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely easier. I could see that. And tell us about your business. I'm very interested to hear more about it.
Yeah, so I started a company called Rebook, and it's an English book subscription service. And basically, what that is that people sign up and they become members, and they choose a membership for a certain amount of books they would like to receive every month, English books. And they basically exchange them for new ones on a monthly basis. And we have like a selection of thousands of books in various genres, and people just go on the website, members go on the website, and every month they choose like new books that they would like to read, and we're always constantly growing our collection. And we also take, like, if people want to read a book, they can ask us to get it for them, and we do.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So, like, can you like walk us through the process? Let's say there's an American right now who just made Aliyah and like he's an avid reader. You know, like where would he go? He would just rent these books on the website, or he could, or they can get in touch with you. Like, can they call you? Like, what's the
Yeah, so we try to make it like a very like individual and like relationship based experience. So yeah, they can always reach out to me. Like my phone number is on the website. We have an email. Like we like to be in contact with our members all the time, just because with deliveries and book selections and things like that, or people often ask me for recommendations based on things that they like. So I like to keep it like very personable.
Mhm.
But yeah, if people have questions, they usually reach out before they sign up, or obviously everything is explained on the website as well. But we're always open to phone calls and questions and emails and things like that. But you basically go online and we have like a series of membership options. They start at like 30 shek a month.
Mhm.
So if you want one book a month, or if you want two books a month, or more, you just select a membership, whichever one suits your reading capacity. And then, yeah, you sign up, you become a member, and it's pretty easy. And then you just order your books. You can either search the books, or we have like certain like bestsellers or books that I recommend,
Mhm.
things like that. And you can choose the books that you want. And if you don't see a book that you are looking for, you request it from us, and we can get it for you, like for your next month's like books.
Awesome. And do you guys ship everywhere, all over Israel?
Yeah, so we ship to everywhere in Israel. Um, there's also like an option, if you live in the area, you can pick it up from where we're located. So that's an option. And if you live like in the like Tel Aviv, Givat Shmuel, like Ramat Gan area, we also deliver it like to your house.
Okay, very nice.
So you don't have to like go to the post office or anything. But other than that, it's delivered through the Israeli Post.
Awesome. And like how long can it take for me to like receive that book if I if I order it, let's say today, in Israel?
Yeah, so the Israeli Post is very different than in America. Like, there's no like UPS or FedEx or anything like that. Like, there's just the Israeli Post, which is like run by the government. So obviously, that comes with its challenges, with its delays,
Mhm.
so on and so forth. But basically, how it works is that unless you like live on a yeshuv or something and have a private house, you usually have to go to like a pickup location to pick up anything, to pick up, unless it's like something small, like a letter that can fit in the mail slot in the front of your apartment building, because most people live in apartment buildings.
Right.
You have to actually go to like a pickup point. So that can either be an actual post office location, that could be a makoret, which is like a small like shop near your house.
Right.
It could be like a little grocery store. Like there's a bunch of different locations. There's like different companies that get paid by the Israeli Post to receive packages and give them to people. So that's like mostly how our like pickup system works. Wherever the person is, they'll receive a text message from the Israeli Post and they can choose a location that they want to pick up their package from. And for me, this was like a big thing to adjust to because I wasn't used to this. But a lot of my members they made Aliyah. A lot of them are American, but they've been living in Israel for years. So for them, it was something so natural. Like they were like, oh yeah, like we pick it up from this like makolet. Like we know the people that work there. Like they know us. We always get our packages from there. So it was normal for like a lot of people, but for me, especially starting this company and having just moved, it was definitely something that like I had to adjust to, like for myself, like receiving packages, and also as someone who was shipping out packages all the time. It was just like a huge
Right.
difference.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like an Amazon 2-day shipping, delivered right into your door.
Yeah, no, it's
I like
not.
that.
It
Right.
takes
Wow.
like 5 days, I think,
Wow.
or sometimes even longer. Yeah, we try to like do it. How we do it is that we ship the books earlier so that
Mhm.
you get them by the time you have to return your next ones, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So like
So,
we'll ship it to you like a week and a half in advance or something, or 2 weeks in advance, so that it's not late.
got it.
Yeah.
Right. Meaning like they were probably you would deliver theirs maybe like a week or two before they finish theirs and ship it. Something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
You just have to like account for the time difference, basically is the only thing, because it's not like Amazon 2 day shipping.
right, right. So what's the link to the website?
Yeah. So the website is shoprebook.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could just Google it and you'll find the website there. And then if you're interested, or if you're thinking of making Aliyah or know anyone who has made Aliyah and lives in Israel and loves to read, they can become members, join the club.
Absolutely. Well, maybe you can post the link in the comments below after we finish, so they have like location
Yeah,
they
sure.
can click to. Um, and yeah, I guess well, is there anything else you would like us to know about your business, or we cover that?
Yeah, that's basically it. Anyone who loves to read English books and who reads a lot of English books and is looking to spend less money on that, because English books are not as accessible as one might think in
Right.
Israel for the amount of Americans that live there. Rebook is the place for you.
Awesome. And I just have like one last question
Sure.
before we wrap up here. Um, what is what advice can you give anyone who may be on the fence of making Aliyah that you wish you had known of prior before you made Aliyah?
Um, yeah, I mean, I had been to Israel like before, and also like my parents are Israeli, so I feel like I was more aware of like um, the culture. I feel
Mhm.
like that's the part that scares people the most, like the lack of comfort and such from moving. Because in America, you have big houses, there's space, there's less traffic depending on where you live. There's 2 day Amazon Prime shipping. Like I feel
Right.
like there's just a higher level of comfort in America that maybe people are nervous like to sacrifice if they
Mhm.
move to Israel. But I would just say that like as much as it's like a change, it's definitely like a welcome change. Like just
Mhm.
take it in stride and like kind of embrace things as they come and embrace the culture, because that's like one of the big reasons that people move there, obviously. It's one of the reasons that me and my family moved there. We were just like, my parents were ready to like move back to that. And I was ready to experience it. Um, but yeah, I would just say, take it step by step, embrace it. Facebook is like your best friend. There are so many groups on Facebook based on where you live, where you want to move to. Like there are American communities everywhere. And
Right.
the people there I have found like on these Facebook groups are so friendly. They're always willing to help. Like people who have made Aliyah in the past, like are always looking to help like new people that are making Aliyah. And I think that like the Americans that live in Israel is like a nice, like comforting community of its own that's like always looking to help.
Absolutely. Actually, Facebook group, Aliyah Network. A
Yeah.
very good friend of mine started Aliyah Network. You know, that is a place where you can find all of your uh services, all of your needs. I mean, I think that's really where I like found out where you started your business on the
Mhm.
network. And
Yeah.
your aunt told me you started a business.
Yeah.
I used to help build her sukkahs. So
Yeah, she told me that you built her
yeah,
stuff for her.
yeah. I built it 1 year with Isaiah Blanks.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely join Aliyah Network. Definitely sign up for Maia's English books on shoprebook.com.
Yeah.
And if you like these interviews, if you see value in these interviews, please like and follow and share it with anyone who might be interested in making Aliyah. All right. Thank you very much, Maya. I appreciate
Thank
you being on the
you.
call.